What up, JG?
What it do?
We back
Like a bad habit.
like a bad habit. Hold up. We got Look Good Naked Part 2. We
Part
brought
two.
it back, man. Last week's episode, if you didn't tune in, you missed out, man.
That was a good one.
We went in. Do you remember the name?
Last one?
Yeah.
Hard or soft?
Hard or soft. All right, use your imagination. Use your imagination. This week, man, obviously we tied hard or soft into strength training.
Yeah.
And we stayed on topic for majority of it, but we traveled through some different philosophies, and the feedback has been unbelievable.
Amazing, yeah.
So thank you for comments, the live chat. We're in that live chat, so thank you for that, and also the inboxes to me personally.
Yeah.
Did anybody hit you up?
Yeah,
Chris?
yeah. I got
Awesome.
a couple.
So looking forward to this episode.
Absolutely.
All right, episode 2.
The Minute Man.
The Minute Man. Dun, dun, dun. Show me what you got, because I don't want no. All right, comment down below. Yep, let's have some fun today, baby. All right, is the Minute Man effective or not? Comment down below. All right, I want the guys to comment.
Look,
I want the ladies.
I'm already seeing some heads go.
I want to know, is the Minute Man effective? Jared,
Woo.
I have a question for you, man, to
All
lead this
right.
off.
Uh-oh.
Is the Minute Man effective? Is my question to you. What you got?
Is the Minute Man effective? This is gonna be a fun discussion. I'm ready to have this discussion.
Yeah.
It depends.
It depends. Break that down, brother.
It depends. I'm curious to see where we go in this talk, because I feel like there are a bunch of points to hit on that I think we should hit different points, and when we hit those points, pose that question
Okay.
to see
Fair.
if they're those at those different points they say yes or they say no.
That's fair.
Let's keep them interactive on this one.
Okay.
I kind of want to see it.
I like that.
So
I like that.
let's go on a journey with this one.
Okay. I'm with that. So let's start it here then. So we talk about strength training.
Yep.
So when I think of a Minute Man, all right, I'm married, so I'm going to go there, all right?
Okay.
So when I think of a Minute Man when it comes to intimacy, I'm wondering, is the very thing you're longing for within that intimacy session, did it take place, all right? And for majority, I don't think it happens that fast, right? So the way I'm going to kind of pivot to is when we think of fitness,
Yeah.
right? Why we want so much instant gratification so fast when we know when it comes to that time, we know it takes time. You want patience then.
You do want
You
patience,
want to go
man.
through all the steps to get you there then.
Yep.
But why, when it comes to fitness and our journey, why are we so impatient? Why do we want to be the Minute Man then? So my question to you and my question to you guys is, for you to get to where you want to be, right?
What a fun.
For you to get to where you want to be, part A of this question, and hopefully I don't forget part B, but part A of this question is, are you willing to do the things that need to be done beyond being the Minute Man?
I like that. We had this talk. I think we did a podcast right over there in the front door. I forgot the name of the episode, but we talked about fitness not necessarily being the most fun thing for the body.
I remember
right? Obviously, the other thing we're referring to is fun, right? It's pleasurable.
Yeah.
So you want it to last.
Yeah.
Fitness, not so much, right? It's not, you're not putting your body through something that is fun or
Right.
pleasurable. You're putting your body through
Right.
pain, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think it's a little bit easier to say, oh, well, that's why I want that to last, and that's why I don't want that to last, and that's why I want to skip steps
That's
to
fair.
get there. So I think
That's
if
fair.
somebody were to give an answer, I believe that would be the answer. But at the end of the day, I do believe in the process,
Okay.
right? And we can look at both.
Oh, we're about to go there.
Yeah, we can look at both here. The process of getting to where you want to be in the gym and the process of getting to where you want to be
I like that.
in the bed. There are steps that need to be taken to get you to where you want to be.
I like
right?
that.
So, yeah.
I like that. And the reason why I like the process part of it, because and this is something that's I guess, reran over and over on people's social media when motivational speakers talk about the process, right?
Yeah.
But you got to really look at it from the standpoint of intimacy, right? There is a process. And since the camera's on me tight, and I'm about to keep it 100 with you guys, sometimes you got to do things that you don't feel like doing to achieve the mission, right? So Jared just literally went back to an archive podcast and said sometimes it's hard to be sustainable when it comes to fitness because you may not actually want to do burpees or lift heavy or go run, but there's a pattern that's proven to get you to the promised land. All right, fellas, ladies, listen to me carefully. There's a pattern that's proven that would get you to the process. Am I lying? Y'all comment down below. Let me know if your boy doing it right or wrong, right? But I can feel Tina just red in the face. But what I'm getting to, guys, it's one of those things that in that moment you can be really selfish.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but in that moment, if you're trying to achieve the goal, the mission, is the process worth it at the end of the day? So for me, I'm married, right? So I'm going to say this the way I want to say it because I'm married, right? And I'm confident as I feel Erica looking me on my left side. Like, the goal for me is to fulfill the mission, right? Like, I love my wife, right?
Yep.
But I'm not going to go there, but the goal is to complete the mission. And I know there's a process to it.
Yeah.
Okay, here, this is what I'm going to say. Her mission may be longer than mine. But because I love her and I know what it takes to make it happen, Jared, I have to be consistent and go through that proven system, right? But sometimes you may not feel like putting that type of work in. But at the end of the day, we want the result.
Absolutely.
We want the result. So hearing that, young man.
Young man.
Right. Hey, well, we're talking minutes.
Minute man,
right? As we're having fun with this, Jared, the part B of the question I was going to ask you was when it comes to choosing the way you want to do it or not within that segment, is it up to the person that wants to fulfill the way they want to fulfill it, or is it up to the person that has to be, dang, I'm trying to keep this as clean as possible. For the person, for the guy, let's just use guy and girl to make it simple. Is it the guy's job to fulfill the mission and understand how to get it done? It's no clean way of saying this, dog. It's just no clean way of saying this. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut my question short.
Okay.
And then if I think of a way to bring it back, because when we upload the podcast, I always put clean. I don't want them just to cut it and be like, this ain't clean at all.
Yeah.
But maybe we could just switch the settings.
Oh, we're about to make this a PG-13
Okay.
podcast.
Keep it there then. I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to shut up. But if I say it, I say it. I'm going to have to get off the mic and all that. That's all good. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right. So I might text it to Erica.
Oh, Lord.
So, all right. Start with something fresh. So
Okay.
we're talking Minuteman, and we talked last week on strength. What do you guys think we're going to connect this with when it comes to time and minute after minute? We're going to connect this with conditioning.
Yep.
All right. Condition piece is sometimes not the funnest piece to do.
At all.
Like when on Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, I'm ready for that strength segment. But when that conditioning roll out, I'm like, man, why is it important, Jared, or why is it not important to do conditioning?
It's extremely important to do conditioning. I mean, with the strength, obviously, you are looking for that body type, right? The muscle building, the aesthetic look that comes with having strength training done.
Yeah.
Conditioning is one. Let's start off with the insides. It's really great for your heart, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, getting your heart rate under control, blood pressure down is good for your overall health, right? The thing I just talked about, blood pressure. Your blood pressure isn't controlled if you're only doing strength training, right? If you're doing conditioning, getting your heart rate up, controlling your heart rate at a certain point, you're controlling your blood pressure, overall controlling your overall health.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why conditioning, number one, above all else, is extremely important. Number two, if you're not conditioned whenever we are doing strength training, you basically, let's just say you'll cap out for strength training because you'll get to a certain point where you're so fatigued that you cannot continue to lift. But if we are getting ourselves conditioned, then you will get to a point where you're able to lift more for a longer duration.
I like that.
Which in turn gives you more strength. So you kind of, that's why
That's awesome.
it's all, you'll never hear, like especially for football teams and all that kind of stuff, or basketball, it's always a strength and conditioning program. They go hand in hand.
Right. Need both. So I'm not going to speak this over any man. I'm not going to say it over Jared. I'm not going to say it over myself. I'm not going to say it over any man or woman that's listening right now. But what I will say is, if hypothetically somebody came into the gym and they gave up because it was so hard after the first minute, what's the difference of the intimacy of the person having their maybe it was the first time and they were excited and it didn't go as planned. All right, can I tie this together, Brother Garcia? So, as I'm trying to be funny and gain people's attention, there are moments where, man, it just happened.
It just happened.
It just happened, right? Or maybe if you never had intimacy and you're going to have intimacy for the first time, sometimes you're not ready for it, and it just happened. The question I have for you is repetitive. Golly. Yeah, I'm going to say this one. All right, the more you do it, do you get better?
Yeah, that's what conditioning is.
All right, so when we think in intimacy, you know, it. Give me this closer. I got to talk to all my bros. There's been a moment in your life where you told somebody you fell short of the mission, and you were like, give me another chance. I'll be back. I see you tomorrow.
I'll be back.
I see you next week, right? And the reason why you did that was because you know the more you do it, the better you get. All right, now let's rewind. You can go back to that wide shot. Now let's talk to the person that did that in the gym where they wanted to give up because doing 10 burpees in 90 seconds was really difficult, and maybe they puked on their first day at the gym, and now they don't want to come back because they wasn't conditioned. Yeah. Isn't it the same thing, Jared?
It's exactly the same thing. Playing into what you just said, our first day – our first timers when they come in the gym, what do we always tell them?
Yeah.
It don't get easier. You just get better.
That's it.
And
oh, somebody write that down.
It's the same thing for y'all in the bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It don't get easier. The mission stays the same. You just get better.
And you also you learn what to do and how to do it, right?
Exactly.
I think with working out and conditioning specifically, if you think of running, for an example, guys, especially for those that do our classes and we're doing that 200, 300, or you're doing that Herman Park lap around the Miller Theater, right? If you start off breathing hard as you can, as fast as you can, like this in and out your mouth, and you just started off, like you just really put yourself in a position not to last as long as you should have lasted because you went to what I call the third stage of breathing. And knowledge and wisdom with experience, you would know starting off to run, especially when it's long distance, you'll try to go in and out your nose. And you're controlling your breathing. And then it gets too difficult in your nose, out your mouth, right? And then once you get to that last stretch or you're trying to get that final sprint, you're getting after it, right?
Yeah.
Same thing, right? If you think of the more you learn, the better you get, the more wisdom you gain, the longer you can run the race. Yeah. It's the same thing if you think about intimacy, right?
Yep.
If you know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, you get better. But maybe the first time you didn't know. So you do have to get experience. You do have to learn. And that comes from several different ways. Jared, I'm going to put this one on you. How do you learn, right? What's the best way to learn? Let's start with intimacy and then go to fitness. We're having too much fun.
How do you learn?
How do you learn?
You read books.
There you go. That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I feel like I'm on Family Feud. Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer. Steve Harvey, read books.
Read books.
What do we get? I would definitely. I hate to say it like this. I would say I'm a hands-on learner.
I think that's the perfect way to explain this.
So a little on trial and error, hands on. You know it works. You know it don't work. But at the end of the day, you also do have
Yeah.
mentorship, and it's not strictly for intimacy. We're also talking about the gym, but
Absolutely.
mentorship and people that you are able to see and kind of not idolize, but you strive to be
Yeah.
somebody that you look up to.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best way to learn. Obviously, you got to have somebody that you are kind of not. Is it an idol? Is that what I'm going for? Somebody that you kind of idolize, and then you have you obviously your own self experience. That's I don't know. Other than that, read
I like
books.
Read books. read, read books. You said who do you idolize? Okay, hold on. Let's keep it 100. Like I'm about to go there. All right, here we go. So,
Who idolize?
all right, Erica, check this out. As we idolize, this is what we're gonna say. All right, let's keep it real. You ready to keep it real, Jay?
Keep it 100.
Every guy is lying if you've never ever asked or overheard or even seen some activity and you didn't try it. Let's keep it real. Ladies, talk about
100%.
y'all ain't never been in them little parties or you with your girls and y'all hear what, girl, you need to try this. Like, this is the thing. You got to be careful, though, on who you trust. Because at the end of the day, old girl can tell you whatever to do, and then she may not know what she's doing, right? So I don't know the right way to learn with intimacy besides maybe reading a book or going to a therapist or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're joking as we tie this together, but in the fitness world, that's where you have to trust the person that's teaching you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, my point of drawing this all together, guys and girls, is not to go out there and make workout routines or just see what you see on Instagram. I know you've heard us talk about people's highlight tapes over and over on social media, but the truth and the reality is every month when we allow people to come to the gyms or our boot camps or PT sessions, that's where they're coming from. Well, such and such did this on our Instagram, so that's what I'm doing.
I was about to say they sure do look on Instagram and try stuff.
Oh, y'all be looking up. Okay, comment down below. Have you ever looked on Instagram and seen a movement and you tried it? We ain't gonna put it in no other scenarios, right? We gonna keep it right there. But no, I'm being funny with this because we're having a good time.
Yeah.
But at the same moment, guys, our goal with the title Minuteman is to put you in a position to see the perspective in a bigger lens. Because when it comes, when it comes to intimacy, for those that are married or active or whatever it may be, like this is a attention gainer.
Yeah.
And then you kind of start relating like, some of this stuff do kind of connect, you know?
Yeah.
Like if a guy or a girl don't want a minute man, then why do we expect to get results within a minute? You ever thought about that? So let's go here, Jay. And you open it up the way that you want to open it up.
Oh Lord.
There
I do
are
wanna talk about
moments.
breathing before we get
You want to go breathing?
after. Let's
You
talk
sure?
about this.
You're not going to remember.
I'm breathing. I
Okay.
remember breathing.
You remember breathing. Breathing. Everybody remember breathing. Write down breathing below. First question I have for you out of two is, when is it good to be a minute man?
Is it ever?
Is it ever a good opportunity? Is it a good time to ever be a minute man?
Opening up the brain. Is there a good time to be a minute man?
As he look at Erica. Just we'll say we're using intimacy as the clickbait today, but it may not or it may be.
The only I would be if I had to ride around with Minuteman on my truck and everybody knew I was the Minuteman, I would definitely want to be some kind of handyman.
Okay.
That's the man you hire. He comes out, he gets it done quick. He's in and out of there. Fixing problems.
Fixing problems. We say food delivery.
That
Okay.
too.
Okay.
That's the one and only time I would want to be a Minuteman that I can think of.
I'm married.
Okay.
So there's times when you married, wifey might not want your intimacy time. So if she going there, then it's like, oh shoot, free pass, right? So here's the fun thing with fitness, right? As we relate this with fitness, are there moments where it's not a long-winded experience for conditioning that will benefit the body? I'm being funny, guys, and I'm trying to joke around, but there's a sense of what I want to bring out of here. Because everybody think I need to go run 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes a day to get weight loss. I need to be working so hard. My heart rate has to be so high when I work out for 80 minutes a day and do that 7 times a week. Do you really have to work that hard? The question for Jared is, can you be effective in 1 minute of conditioning?
Oh, you'd be very effective in 1 minute of conditioning.
How and why?
Absolutely. Getting your heart rate up. So,
Give me an example of a movement for 1 minute. Say it's a 1 minute workout, 1 minute break, 1 minute work, 1 minute break.
power cleans.
Boom.
Yeah, full body movement, hitting power cleans. That's gonna definitely shoot your heart rate up, depending on where you want to be. I do think goals matter as far as where you're getting your heart rate to. But if we are right now, we're talking about conditioning. If we're improving overall conditioning, your heart rate can get pretty high.
Yeah.
If you're doing power, let's just say your workout is max power cleans for a minute. Your heart rate's gonna be pretty high.
Yeah.
All right, so that minute of rest is not gonna return your heart rate all the way down to where it needs to go unless you are supremely conditioned.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's important. You do that for
Absolutely.
10 minutes, that's gonna be pretty. I'll just call it what it is. It's gonna be pretty hellacious. So,
Absolutely. And there's times when I program workouts that I on purpose make that movement maybe heavyweight with max effort or get on the assault bike. Say it's a prereq to get to the assault bike, 10 burpees, 100-meter run, and then for the remainder time get as many calories as you can because it's not a long period of time. So if you ever look at our workouts, we program them from as low as 28 minutes, maybe up to 35, maybe 38.
Yeah.
But the ones that have less amount of time, how much intensity do you think we're going to put in if it's not that much time? A lot. Right? So it's the same thing with my weird scenario. If it ever did happen, I can't say it happened before, but if Tina got to a point where she was like, little boy, I don't got time, I got to wake up early, and I'm like, yo, I'm married, what's up? Then there's moments where I got to take opportunity and I got to give max effort, right? But it's the same thing with conditioning. Conditioning has different parts of conditioning. You have long stimulus conditioning, you have short stimulus conditioning, but it depends goal-driven as well, right? If I'm trying to get prepped and ready for the beast mode game, depending on the stimulus that I want to work on, am I working on long stimulus conditioning or short stimulus conditioning? So my philosophy, and all of you may be disagreeing with me, and I'm okay with them disagreeing with me, there are moments where the Minuteman is effective. Can y'all comment down below and let your boy know?
Yes, I like that.
Erica like it.
Nah, I definitely agree. I think there are, speaking from the fitness perspective, obviously there's pros and cons to the long stimulus conditioning, right? To going out and running 4 miles, going out and running 5 miles. There's benefits to that, and then there's benefits to doing, 5 heavy power cleans, resting for a minute, 5 heavy power cleans, resting for a minute, trying to work your explosive muscles, right? So I think there's definitely pros and cons to, like I said, type 2 or type 1 and type 2. So,
I love it. Well said. And before you forget, I want to ask you a question with the breathing. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think you started hitting on that, talking about basically trying to get oxygen through your body. So I really just wanted to focus on that because that is one of the core values we have here at Mean Green.
Absolutely.
So with conditioning being the point of topic today, I just think it'd be great to fill y'all in on what the importance of breathing, if you haven't heard it already, and if you have, let's hammer it home because I think it's important when it comes to us working out in here, and especially these 2 weeks we're working tempo movements. So I want to talk through a couple different tempos: concentric, eccentric, isometric holds, and the importance of breathing through those movements.
Yeah. So I think the first thing is for muscles to grow, they need what? Oxygen.
Yep.
So while we holding our breath and not getting oxygen, how can we get growth? Right. So if you think of what's a movement that we're gonna do? A hold. I'm trying to think of a hold.
I know Friday we're doing a ISO
Okay.
holding curls.
So isometric hold, right? So you have one arm that's isolated where you're just holding it, and then the other arm is performing. There we go. The other arm is performing a bicep curl, right? So if you're trying to knock out as many reps as you can, think about it. You can do 10 bicep curls, get dizzy at the same time, and not put the oxygen that you need in your body. How much does that limit your results?
Yep.
And then you can look at somebody across the gym from you, and they just calm, and they and then you look up like 6 weeks, you be like, man, look like I work harder than her, but she's getting more results than me. And it may be down to your breathing. So the effectiveness of putting enough oxygen in your body for muscles to grow, for me, Jared, that's part one of what I believe why it's so important. Anything you want to add to breathing and why it's important?
When it comes to conditioning, it improves your stamina. So a lot of y'all are, and I've seen it because I've done it myself. We go out, we run a little bit, come in here, start lifting some weights, and I see people literally like no control breathing whatsoever. And unfortunately, like you just said, you'll look to your right or left, and you'll see people getting in better condition and better shape. But that's because breathing is so important. Once you can control that breathing, again, control reps, knowing how to breathe in and out as you are pushing weight, as you are running. It improves your stamina.
Yeah.
Right? So you can go from the minute man to the 2 minute man based on you improving that stamina. So
yes.
It's important. Breathe.
You know, what's funny is not funny, but one thing that was brought to my remembrance. I remember a young lady that trained here. She was really strong, and she was doing deadlifts. And as she was doing the deadlift, not only did she not know how to breathe correctly, but she was doing it the opposite way. So imagine as you're trying to lock out, typically what you blow out. So inhale, you're holding your breath as you go down into that deadlift. As it tapped the ground, you extend your legs and right? She was doing the opposite. I don't even know how she was doing that. So she would blow out going down, and then on the way up from her deadlift, she right? So
lightheaded.
Yeah, I felt lightheaded doing it then, right? And when I caught that, I literally told her right then and there, and then she became immediately stronger on her deadlift. And it wasn't because of her quads or hamstrings or glutes or core. It was just her breathing. So that's how effective your breathing can be. Not only can it not allow you to perform in a certain stimulus, but it also put you in a position to win after your workout. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we get so caught up in the workout, but a lot of your results come from before the workout and after your workout. So if you're getting in the car and you're still right, without calming your heart rate down, like again, your muscles need oxygen. So if you ever notice during our cool down stretches, this is why it's important to me, and it's in our core 4. That's why when we look at them screens, we're like, hey guys, let's get our heart rate down. Focus on that big deep breath, and then control your heart rate. Excuse me, your breath going out so you can control that heart rate. But if you never take that part serious, are you getting enough oxygen to your body? So it's not just, again, the workout of the 50 to 60 minutes of working out, but it's also your breathing techniques after the workout.
Nah, I like that. I like the points you hit on, just because when it comes to oxygenating your muscles, that's when you're at your strongest. I don't know if you guys know the technique. I'm going to mess it up. It's blood flow restriction, BFR. I think that's what it's called.
I'm not sure.
But I did it when I was in physical therapy. They have a machine. They hook you up to it. I was trying to build strength back in my knee, so they cut the circulation off to where there's no blood flow going through your leg. So there's nothing oxygenating those muscles. So whenever you are doing squats and stuff like that, you can do, let's say on a regular leg press, y'all are doing 200 pounds single leg. It's pretty strong. But let's say you're doing that 10 reps. Okay, cool. By the 10th rep, you might be a little fatigued. With that BFR machine on your leg, you might do 2 reps, and you're gonna feel that burn that you felt at 10. So your blood flow, since it's not going through that leg so much, that leg is fatiguing very quickly. So imagine you guys doing that with the hyperventilating of working out and not getting enough oxygen to your muscles. Legit. You might actually have more strength than you think you have, but because you're not properly breathing and getting oxygen to those muscles, you're not getting the output that you need from them. So I think that's super important. And then like you were talking about, she immediately had some there's 2 reasons. One, I think she immediately got stronger because she was feeding those muscles with oxygen. 2, whenever you properly brace yourself for a deadlift or a squat or a bench press, you actually engage your core and allow your full body to be the chain that it is.
Yeah.
But if you take your core away by blowing out and losing your core strength, you kind of disconnect that chain link that your body is.
Absolutely.
So it's very important.
I love it. And another thing to add to what you just said, if you think of a line of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So if you have 1 through 10, and you want to exert a power up to 10 every time, your breathing has to allow you to do that.
Yeah.
So for her, for an example, because she was breathing the opposite way as she was, lifting instead of blowing out, instead of her being able to exert maybe 60% of max effort, instead of exerting 100% of max effort, she may have been limited to 50 to 60% because she wasn't able to because of her breathing. It wasn't about how strong she was or how much she can squat or deadlift. It was all about breathing.
Yep.
So another thing I'd like to point out with breathing, as we talk about the Minute Man, range of motion. Right, mobility is a huge part of our core 4, and it's no way. You said what? You gotta hit the. I can't say that on camera, Erica. That's why you gotta be careful before you just start repeating stuff. You gotta hit. Nah, I can't say that.
You almost have it.
I'm gonna keep it to the core 4. But your range of motion, right? A lot of people say, Chris, I want to be able to stand up and reach down and touch the ground by putting my palms on the ground, or I want to be able to get in a butterfly position and push my elbows down a little bit more. There's nowhere in the world you're going to be able to do that without understanding how to breathe correctly.
Absolutely.
So if you take that big inhale, rewind. If you're just I'm trying to think of a stretch, splits. If you just hold your breath the whole time, you will not move. Just try it. Or if you want to reach down and touch your toes, just hold your breath and see how far you get to the ground. But on the flip side, try me on this one. Inhale as big as you can and exhale and just sink into that stretch. In 3 to 4 minutes, you're going to be a lot further in your range of motion than you would than just holding your breath.
Absolutely.
And all that takes place, flexibility, short stimulus, a long stimulus, all takes place for you to be better at it by breathing. All right. So, again, the Minute Man, I get it. Breathing's a huge part of achieving the mission.
Major part.
Cool. I wrote something down on my phone, and I remembered it, and I'm going to ask you, because we're here to help.
Absolutely.
We're here to empower. And I don't even want to weird Jordan when he hear this, okay? He's going to hear this, and he might weird him out, because they just walked in.
Yeah.
But what happens if somebody's watching this online, and they say, Jared, I have a problem.
Oh, Lord.
I don't want to be a Minute Man no more. How would you fix that? How do you fix the Minute Man? That's the question in my phone. How how do you fix the Minute Man is the question.
How do you fix the Minute Man?
You want to put it in a scenario?
Yeah, I need a little help with this one.
All right. So I want you guys to imagine what a Minute Man looks like and feels like, right? Not feels like. What a Minute Man looks like, right? Golly, I shouldn't have said that. Right? Now, as you're imagining what you're imagining, I'm not talking about that. All right?
Okay.
I'm more so asking about if someone wants to win at surviving maybe a Mean Green boot camp or a gym workout, or maybe it's 2 ways we can go. So, one, how can they not be a person that give up after the first minute or fall victim to the minute? And number 2, let's start there so we won't get too long-winded. How do you fix that?
Number 1, break when need to. I think that's very important to know that. If you feel yourself about to give up, take a breather.
I love that smile, dog.
Take a breather. I think that's okay. I think it's okay to understand yourself, your limits. So especially, in a workout, like if you feel like, I ain't gonna be able to do this, you're getting dizzy, you feel like you need to sit down. That's okay.
Yeah.
But also,
that.
kind of make up in your mind that I'm gonna do what I can. And if you can sit down for 2 minutes and you feel yourself getting better, but in your head you're like, but I don't want to feel that again, you're not going to get better.
I like that.
But if you continue to go back and to push yourself and to do what you can in that workout, you get better. So going back to the quote, we said earlier, this doesn't get easier. You just get better. You only get better if you continue to push forward. So for your first workout, let's say you got a minute in.
Yeah.
And that was that. If you don't go back, you're not going to get better.
Hey.
Point blank period.
Hey. I'll put 100 emoji down below, dog.
I know.
I understand, guys. I understand.
Now, it might have to be at a different boot camp, at a different location with a different workout, but, go work out again.
Yeah. she said that sound like cheating. All right.
Because you might have you might have
now you got to conquer your
burned
fear.
the bridge at Herman Park, so now you got to go to Humble.
Bro, you got to conquer your fear, bro. You got to, golly. You got to look it in the eyes like, I'm going to win today. Erica took it there.
I don't know.
I don't even know if they can hear it, but
what she talking about. We're not listen.
If y'all can hear that, we put boom, 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 boom. It's funny. All right, so part B of it, right? So we talked more so about the effort and the energy that you put in, but what about the emotional part of this, right? Because, again, we're trying to be funny as we use the term Minute Man, but there are so many people that have tried and it didn't go as long as they wanted to. Maybe it's the, hey, I'm going to lose 40 pounds, and then they got to their first pound, and then it was like, this is hard, and give up. Or maybe they showed up to the gym and they bought a month-to-month package, but they only came one day.
Yeah.
What's up with this emotional part? How do you get over that hump where it's like, man, emotionally or even mentally, you feel like I can't get past that hump, and they're tired of being the minute man. They actually want to achieve the mentality and the emotional part of it.
Man, emotions and mentality, I think, is the hardest part of fitness. Like that, what you're asking is such a complex question that is hard to answer within a minute, but I really do believe
that was good. That was good right there.
I really do believe the man, what's the podcast? Not a podcast. Is it E.T.? It's either E.T. or what's his name? The other
Inky.
guy, Inky.
Inky
One of those two said, sometimes you reach something that is bigger than you. And if you are doing it if you're only doing it for yourself and you're doing something that's bigger than you, like you're probably gonna quit, and it's because you're only doing it for yourself. So for that person that struggles to continue going when they reach that, you get 1 pound and you fall off, you get close to a goal and you fall off. For that person, I think you have to find out why you're really doing this. And if you write down a list of the reasons you're doing this and every single reason has something to do with you and only you, then it becomes easy to fall off, because at some point you like, screw it, I don't need this because this is too hard, right? But if your kids are in the picture, or wife or family or relationship with God or something like that, if something bigger than just you is in that picture, it becomes bigger than letting yourself down. Because a lot of people, let's be honest, a lot of us are okay letting ourselves down. If it's hard, we like, screw it, we be all right. I'm going to keep it rolling.
That's real.
But if you letting somebody else down that means something to you, then it's a little bit harder for you to say, okay, that pound was hard to lose, I'm done. So that's what I would say to that person.
That's so real. And the reason why I know that's true, it happened to me last week. So 2 weeks ago, we were working out, you and I, on a Monday. And before, we were like, hey, let's take these before pictures. And we took it front, lateral, back, like, all right, I'm a food prep. And I do buy food prep and leave it in the car overnight. But I don't know what happened this past weekend, but I've always been open and candid about my back challenges. It's always my lumbar area to the right side. Sunday before last, I woke up, and I don't know what happened, gluteus medius. Yeah. Oh, man, it still hurt to this day. And I didn't do nothing. I don't remember doing nothing. Obviously, I did. But I woke up, and I just couldn't move. Like, I couldn't hinge. I couldn't pick nothing up. It was hard for me to get out the bed. And I got to a point on Monday when I worked out Monday. We did the Bulgarian split squats. And I don't know if you remember, I was like, man, I'm not going to go that heavy. But I still did it. And then we were doing Russian twists. with the landmine. I don't know if you remember. I could only do the bar, and it wasn't because it was heavy. It was because I couldn't get it to the other side. So that Tuesday I woke up, I was like, oh, dog. So by the time Thursday get here, I didn't work out on Tuesday. I think I did some stretching on Wednesday. So Thursday came, Jay, and this is why what you just said is great. And I'm hoping that you guys listen to what he said, but also reflect on me being a leader for you guys. I sat in the garage having a pity party. Literally, my boys had a basketball game, and I had like 90 minutes until I'm about to work out. Was it, or it was Saturday? Either or. But I'm sitting in the garage, and it caught me. And I recorded it because it really meant something to me. While the plyo box was outside, I'm just laying on the ground. Christopher started doing step-ups for no reason. He just started stepping up. And then Caleb started grabbing some dumbbells, and he started literally doing like a little, I don't know, devil press or whatever. And I was like, damn, this is why I got to get up today.
Yeah.
I did not feel like doing all this. I started YouTube and stuff, hitting physical therapy, my physical therapist up, like, hey, what's some movements I can do? Like, I'm literally in the garage working on something that really I felt like was defeating me at that time. I was quick to say, oh, forget that before picture. Ain't nobody going to remember I took that picture. I was so quick to make these excuses, but what you just said is really true. When it's bigger than you and it's not always about you, that's what pushes you to go to the next stage. So today, I've already texted Jared yesterday. And I told him, I cannot make this up. I said, hey, man, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do. I am limited, but today I am going to work out because it's something bigger than me. So I appreciate you sharing that. That was awesome. That was awesome.
That's real. That's real. I think there are some of us that do have to dig just, a tad bit deeper, right? I'm not a father. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I have a family that I love dearly. I have goals that I want to reach that pertain to them. So when it comes to me waking up in the morning, like I told you, I have something on the mirror that has my family, right? So to be able to look at them, something that drives me not to quit, something that drives me even when I'm tired to continue to go. I do believe that that's important. Because let's be real, y'all, life get hard, man. It gets rough. It don't matter who you are, no matter where you're at. You could be 13, you could be 25, you could be 43, 65. Life gets hard at different points in its own special way, and we know that based off, people having mental health issues from 12 all the way to 80, right? Like, it just don't matter where you're at in that range. Life gets tough, so you got to figure out what's holding you to it. Obviously we're talking fitness here. What's holding you to that? It's important.
So mental health, man, is one of those things that is how can I word it? It's now brought to light more than it's ever been, but now you look at yourself as a temple that needs to be fueled.
Yeah.
Right? And we all have – we're tying this back in just to be a little funny because I feel this is getting really serious. We all have our Minute Man moments, right? But at the end of the day,
yes.
I'm going to be funny when I say this, or try to be at least. I don't know if it's going to be funny. But I do want to empower you after I say what I'm going to say.
Okay.
We all have our Minute Man moments. But I ain't going to lie. Out of my moments, I don't remember my Minute Man segments. I remember me winning. I'll be like,
that's what it's all about.
So, like, after all my victories that I've had that wasn't Minute Man, all my victories, I remember the feelings. I don't remember my Minute Man moments. Nah. So, I know we have our Minute Man moments, but I don't remember my Minute Man moments, if that makes sense. So, my encouragement to you guys, as we use it as an example, man, we do have things that don't go the direction that we want it to go. But at the end of the day, man, I look at the mistakes that I've made as a father. It's sometimes, like one time I told Christopher, he's like, hey, Daddy, Caleb hit me. I was like, go hit him back in his face. And he went and hit him in the face, and he started crying. That was not a good father moment probably, right? But now I look
Daddy
back.
said hit you back.
Yeah, I mean, he hit him, and I didn't know. Most kids, they swing all crazy. That boy went in, he jabbed like, pow. I was like, I told him to snap back. I didn't know. So, anywho,
Caleb bleed.
he really bleeding. So, now, I look back and laugh at that. But when I reflect on being a father, I would probably won't think of that as much as the other things that I've done for them. And I want you guys to know, even in that moment, we all have moments. But just remember, man, when you conquer what you're going to conquer, you're going to look back and be like, man, I lost 40 pounds. Not that time you lost the war in your head and you went to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
You know, don't beat yourself up is what I'm getting to. We all, okay, I can't speak for y'all. I've had some Minute Man moments. I'm a man. I can say that. Too much fun with this show, bro. All right, where we at, Jay? Is that it? What we got? Is that it?
Yeah, I think we hit all the points we wanted to hit with the Minute Man.
Oh, here goes Erica. God,
I didn't hear
that. Beep. Beep. All right, so I just want to make sure we cover because we talked because again conditioning.
Yep.
We talked about the importance of conditioning and breathing,
Yep.
right? We even hit the mobility part. We even hit when you fall short of where you want to go when it comes to being mentally and emotionally challenged. There's one other thing that come to my mind
when we talk about the Minute Man.
Yeah, it's one more thing. Should I go there though? Where are we at on time? I want to finish this in 5 minutes. Screw it. It's the Mean Green Show. Jared.
Chris.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because, and this might have nothing to do with fitness, it has more to do with life.
Okay.
If you've had a Minute Man moment, I'm curious. Do you call Chris or all your partners and be like, hey, I just had a Minute Man moment?
Actually, hell no. I'll shoot it straight with you.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
So, I'm learning as I ask. I don't know what the response is going to be to this, okay? So, part two of if you didn't tell and then you got back into the mission, why didn't you tell? Why did you not tell someone else about the Minute Man moment?
Oh, man. I'm thinking Instagram right now, right?
Okay.
Nobody. How many of y'all share your Minute Man experiences or share what we just call them your losses? Not too many. And actually, the crazy part is the ones that do get on there and share that are celebrated for the most part. Some people are like, why would you put that on it? But for the most part, they get a lot of feedback because they're sharing real experience, right? But everybody wants to be seen as a winner, right? Everybody wants to be seen as, you know, I don't even know what you would call the opposite of a Minute Man, but everybody wants to be seen
minutes.
as. Everybody want to be the 20-minute man, right? So because of that, you're gonna share the times you were able to achieve or to accomplish that side of things, as opposed to the times you, we'll just call it, failed horribly, right?
Yeah. Nobody
Nobody wants to sit there and share that. So again, I don't know, I guess you can call it like the Instagram effect. We're gonna post all our wins, our pictures of us, you know, wearing the makeup and the six-pack is on, you know, is on point that day, and we lifted the most weight, and we're having the most fun. We're out on vacation. You're gonna show all of that, but what about the time, like I said, I didn't wake up this morning. I was late for work. XYZ. We're not gonna post any of that stuff because that's not something you see to be celebrated.
I like that. You know what come to my mind too, bro? And I'm gonna leave him with this, and then we can be out unless you got something else. There are a lot of things that I see, and I've learned this from my father. So shout out to homie G. I love you, man. I love you, homie G.
Shout out.
My mom as well. She taught me this. She taught me my father taught me the thing that you work on and you truly care about, the world don't need to know. And sometimes I think, especially in fitness, I think a lot of embarrassment, a lot of pride, ego, a lot of time we don't move forward because we told so many people our vision and dream. And when you're in a weak moment or season and it's not going in that direction, it's so hard to bounce back
Yeah.
because of that moment. And my encouragement to anybody, man, like I'm joking with Jared when I said this,
Yeah.
right? Like he may have had a loss. He ain't about to call Chris. Hey, Chris, hey, bro, let me tell you what I just did, bro. Like he about to get back in the lab and get the job done the way that he needs to get
Not
it
the
done,
lab.
right? The lab, right? But not the lab. But what I'm getting to, guys, on a serious note, you don't have to tell everybody your visions and your dreams. Like, man, keep them near and dear to your heart for several reasons. Because I truly believe, shout out, and taking another page out of my dad's book, everybody that tell you good morning don't mean good morning.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So don't put yourself in a position to always trying to fulfill the opinion of somebody else based upon what you told them that you want to accomplish. Because there's going to be a moment where it does not go the way that you want to go. Life is already hard, Jared.
Yeah.
So why are you now battling something that you don't have to battle? Man, keep your dreams and your visions close by because you are going to have weak moments.
Yeah.
I'll go over the roots and the branches and the leaves on another podcast. But at the end of the day, you want to be surrounded by more roots because when I do have a weak moment, you share it to that inner circle that will feel you, not dissect you.
Absolutely.
If I called Jared and I say, Jay Money, I had a weak moment. She got me. Tina got me. Because this is my root. This is my boy.
Bro, we love
He going to be like, hey, bro, you got to work on your breathing. I want you to inhale for 3 seconds. You hold for 3 seconds. You exhale slowly for 3 seconds. Hey, man, you got to change. You got to move from the right, and then you got to go to the left, right? As I'm having a lot of fun with you guys, I'm a firm believer, Jared, if, like, put your head down, get the work done.
Yeah.
You do not have to share everything that you're doing with everybody. Share with the right people. But at the end of the day, man, I think that's one way that people really survive their weak moments is by sharing only their weak moments with people that's going to encourage them, support them, and love them through their weak moments. Not the one that's going to chastise them and block them or talk about them or be backstabbers. Like, man, keep what you do to you and to your inner circle. And I believe if you do that, you will overcome those Minuteman moments.
Absolutely. I think everything that you're talking about is building confidence, right? I know last week we talked about building confidence through looks, right? Hard or soft.
Yeah.
We said we wanted ladies, this is what we train you for. Fellas, what we train you for. We want you to be strong. We want you to be confident, right? When it comes to the Minuteman, I feel like it can bring in some it can shake that confidence a little bit. Let's just say that. So again, just building, through the weeks as we're talking, these different podcasts on how to look good naked. It's all about building confidence.
Yeah, man.
And the Minuteman conditioning. It's all along those lines of building confidence, y'all.
Bro, I think our minute is over.
It's been a good long minute.
It's been a good long minute. It's been a long minute. Well, look, man. Hey, we would love. I can't wait to see the live chat.
Oh yeah, we on it this time. I'm excited.
Do me a favor, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this episode. Comment not just in the chat box, but also down in the YouTube comment section. It really will help us share this with everybody that you know. A couple things that we have coming up. Depending on when they watch and hear this, we have the Murph workout. This is a man that paid the ultimate sacrifice where gyms across the world dedicate this day to do it. So we're looking forward to seeing Bootcamp gym members come out and celebrate. Both locations will have a food truck. We're going to have a good time for that event. And then we're still working on our beach day for June 17th. June 17th. Oh, it's June 17th. Beach day. It's going down. We're gonna look good half naked.
Yeah, please wear some clothes.
We're gonna look good half naked. Keep them on. But other than that, man, that's all I got, Jay. If you don't got nothing, we out.
Yeah, man. For those of y'all.
How does what? How does a Minuteman
exit?
Like, if you had a Minuteman moment, how do you exit? With confidence.
With your chin up, man.
Yeah.
Get your chin up.
You better.
Chin up, chest out. You did that.
I did that. Don't say 50 seconds. It was 60, woman. Guys, we love y'all. See y'all soon.